Hello and welcome to this episode of CommuNInqué. I'm your host Nin, and I will be going through the variety of Nintendo news that has been coming out over the last few days for you Nintendo fans. And so, moving right into that, the first bit of news that I'd like to cover is all of the news relating to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and for 3DS. And so, the first part of that news that I'd like to cover is Sakurai's post of the day to Miiverse, as I haven't been able to do that over the last few days. And so, starting with the one on Monday, here's what it says, quote, "The color variations for Shulk are all based off of outfit colors for his travel companions, excluding one of them. Lucina's color variations are also based off the female characters in Fire Emblem Awakening." And so this is something that some people had noticed prior to this, and obviously Naked Shulk essentially is not one of his traveling companions, but one of his own alternate skins. But all of the other outfits that Shulk has do match up to his traveling companions in Xenoblade Chronicles. And same thing with Lucina. Lucina's outfits also match different female characters seen in the game Fire Emblem Awakening for 3DS. And so that was just an interesting tidbit of information that Sakurai gave us. And then on Tuesday, Sakurai gave us a better shot of, I guess, the Special Smash screen and said, quote, "Stamina-based, mega-sized with a bunny hood, back shield with reflect, lightweight, slow, angled smash." And so it's just kind of showcasing the Special Smash itself. There's not really any specific information that he gave us in this, but it shows stamina is either 300% smash or stamina smash, size is mega mini, head is flower or bunny hood, body you can either have metal, you can have clear, you can have the tail from the leaf item, you can have rocket belt, which is also new. You can have the screw attack, or the back shield, which is also one of the new items. And then for your status, you can either have curry or reflect, same as brawl. You can have, for gravity, you can have light or heavy. For speed, slow or fast. And for camera, you can have fixed or angled. And so, once again, Special Smash is something that a lot of people enjoyed, just kind of messing around with. And as it said in the Nintendo Direct, these will not count towards any of your stats or KO totals or anything, so you can feel free to play them as much as you want without having to worry about affecting the stats for your players if you are concerned about that sort of thing. And so moving on to the post of the day for today, here's what it said, quote, "Classic mode in the Wii U version is set up like a battle coliseum with multiple fighters teamed up with each other. Move your trophy and join it anywhere you want. You can see faint images of stages on the platform. The number of fighters clustered on those images indicates the number of fighters you'll face. As you can see, this feature leverages the fact that the game supports multiplayer with up to 8 players." And then in the comments he posts as well, quote, "After each battle, the fighters that lost get blown away. The fighters remaining on the field will once again team up with other fighters on the field. You can actually choose fighters you've blown away to join your team in team battles. A rival will always appear in this mode, and the longer that character survives, the stronger it will get." And so it does showcase a bit of new information about the classic mode for the Wii U version that we didn't know. We knew that the classic mode for the Wii U version was going to be skill based, essentially, that depending on how well you do in previous rounds, the harder your rounds will get or the easier your rounds will get. And so it did show that there was going to be sometimes a rival character coming down and kind of messing things up, as well as just some of these mechanics, but they weren't really explained in full. And so it looks like, obviously, the fighters that you KO in your classic run, you can have join your team for team battles if needed, and as well as the rival, if the rival lasts longer in the classic mode, then it will be stronger when you eventually face it. And so, yeah, this is all pretty interesting, as well as the stages being shown on the classic board. I didn't really notice that before either. And so that's going to be really interesting to see. And so that's it for Post of the Day. And so moving on to another bit of Smash Brothers news, a Super Smash Brothers 3 poster setup has been shown on the US Club Nintendo. If you happen to have 700 coins on your Club Nintendo account, you can get a Super Smash Brothers themed 3 poster. I'll show a picture in the video above. It's got Villager on kind of showcasing Villager on the left side, and then Rosalina in the middle and Palutena on the right. And these are pretty much their promotional images that were on the SuperSmashBrothers.com site when they were released, and still are if you go to their character. And so the poster's paper size is 22 inches by 28 inches. It ships in a poster tube, and yeah, if you happen to have 700 coins lying around in your Club Nintendo account and you're a fan of Smash, feel free to go get one. And speaking of promotional and limited items, moving away from the Smash Brothers scene, there is a link on Loftwing, or a link on Crimson Loftwing, revealed by First 4 Figures the other day. And so I'll include the picture once again in the video above, but it's a premium figure. It'll be a limited run with only 2,500 units being sold worldwide. It'll cost a whopping $460, which is quite the hefty investment. The figure itself is 26 inches by 22 inches by 25 inches, so it's actually quite large for a figurine. And so, once again, if you happen to have money to spare and you're a big Zelda fan, and you should probably get this before they run out of stock. And so the next bit of news is actually moving back to Mario Kart 8. I know Mario Kart 8 has been out a long time, and it's been out for nearly 5 months now, 5 or 6 months. And so the first DLC pack for Mario Kart 8 is going to be releasing next month. We still don't know the exact date, but it's still planned to be sometime in November. And they actually showed another trailer for this DLC pack, and this time they showcased the Excitebike Arena. And now this stage is going to be unique in the fact, this course is going to be unique in the fact that it changes. It's not going to be the same 2 times in a row. The different jumps and hills and such, and the platforms and where the grass is and the track are all going to change every time you race. And this is unique to the Mario Kart series. There hasn't been a shifting stage particularly, at least not that doesn't shift just regularly. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this affects, whether it has been said that it will be the same in some modes. I'm assuming this means time trial mode. I'm not sure if this is going to apply to the online races for Mario Kart 8, and so we're gonna have to see exactly what's gonna be going on with that. And so moving on to some more, I guess, just general Nintendo news. Nintendo came out with its quarterly profits, and so it was expected that they would report a net profit of 6.8 billion yen, which is quite an improvement from last year and even last quarter. But they did publish their second quarterly financial report today, and they posted an overall net profit of 14.3 billion yen, which far exceeded the analyst predictions. And so this is definitely good for Nintendo. Nintendo's doing quite well. The Wii U hardware is gaining momentum after it struggled a bit in the competitive market over the last few years. And so things are definitely beginning to look up for Nintendo in that financial sense. And so something that also came out is that 7.29 million Wii U consoles have been sold worldwide since launch in 2012, which is still beating out the Xbox One, but lagging behind the PlayStation 4 in terms of just console sales. And so that's pretty interesting. I was expecting it to be doing alright, but I didn't expect it to be doing quite that well, especially Nintendo as a whole. And so another bit of just general Nintendo news is that Satoru Iwata is returning to his normal work schedule, and he's feeling much healthier following his surgery. And we've all known that Satoru Iwata had been not doing too great. He skipped E3 for health-related problems, and he was resting after recent surgery to remove a bile duct growth earlier this year. And so he's apparently been doing well, and he'll be back in the swing of things, I guess. And so congratulations to him for being healthier, and I hope he continues to stay that way. And so moving on to actually some Pokemon news. The first bit of news that I'd like to cover is that there's a patch out for Pokemon X and Y for, I think it's 1.0.3. Let me just double check really quick the details. It's version 1.3, apologies. And it features stability enhancements and general bug fixes. It looks like it also fixed the problem where there was an event distribution that started just a few days ago for the legendary Pokemon Diancie, and they were encountering trouble with entering the codes, and so it appears that this patch is going to fix that as well as some other fixes. And so moving on to the next bit, obviously, is that there is a distribution of the legendary Pokemon Diancie going on in North America currently. The event will be running until November 16th, and you can get a special Diancie which cannot be found in normal gameplay. The event is a serial code event and requires you to go into a store to get the code, and in the United States this is for in GameStop. If you're in Canada, you can get it from participating EB game stores, or in Mexico you can get it from Game Planet. And so if you want the legendary Pokemon Diancie, which has a revealed Mega Evolution for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, then go to your local game store and go get a code for one. And speaking of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, it has been announced that a special dual pack for both games will be coming to North America, exclusive to Best Buy and Amazon. This pack includes both of the games, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and comes with a special serial code, 2 codes for 100 potions each, and it's marketing at $80, so it's not saving you any money, it's just kind of giving you free 100 potions, which, if you're a typical player, I don't really use potions too much, so I guess this is just a convenient way to get both games in one shot. And so I think that may be it for today. I did get my hands on a capture card. It's the Elgato Game Capture HD 60, and so I'm going to be able to start streaming as well as start doing Let's Plays of games. And so I have a few in mind. Obviously there's several Nintendo games that I want to do. I want to showcase some Hyrule Warriors, especially with the new DLC that just came out for it with Wizrow, Volga, and Sia, as well as the Epona weapon for Link. And so I'd definitely be interested in showcasing those to you guys. And then I would showcase some 3DS games, but I don't have a 3DS capture card, which is phenomenally expensive and only works for the 3DS itself, so it's going to take me a while to be able to get the resources to be able to get my hands on one. Otherwise, there are some PC games that I'd be willing to play as well. There's a few games that I'm kind of inclined to show. I've got Garrys Mod, obviously, but unfortunately I don't really have too many people to play it with currently, so I may be just doing some general online matches, but until I get people to play multiplayer with me as well, I don't think I'm going to be doing too much of that. Five Nights at Freddy's is one I've considered, even though, especially just since it's Halloween, I mean, and so I'm kind of a big scaredy cat, so we'll see how that goes. And then Town of Salem was another one I was considering it. I've been playing it over the last month and a half or so, just on my own, and it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. It's a mafia style game, and so it's basically trying to survive as your role, and to make sure that your team wins if you have a team, or your role wins if you're, say, a serial killer or an arsonist or something along those lines. It's a great game. I'll include a link in the description below, and so I'm thinking about doing that as well. If you guys have any suggestions at all, I'm really doing this for you, and so if you have anything that you'd like to see me play, please leave a comment or send me a message or something so that I can consider it, see if I have it, see if I have the money for it. And so, yeah, basically I can start doing Let's Plays whenever you guys want. And so, that's about it for this episode of CommuNInqué. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will be back sometime in the future with more Nintendo news and possibly Let's Plays. So, until then, stay classy, YouTube.